everyone, it's svgcoop.com with another training video for you, and today we're using Adobe Illustrator and we're going to make a pop-up heart card. So I have Illustrator opened and I have my rectangle tool selected. So I'm just going to hold my shift key down while I drag my mouse, and that will help me to get a perfect square. You can see the pink line going across there. That means that you're making a square. And I want my square to measure 4 inches by 4 inches. So I have my constraint width here locked, so I can just change one of the sides to 4 inches, and you can see the other side change to 4 inches as well. Then what I'm going to do is, bringing this down to the center a little bit, I'm going to go to the corner where my arrow gets 2 points on the end, and I'm going to hold my shift key down and drag upwards, and that's going to make it so I can make a 45-degree turn. The next thing I want to do is I'm going to grab my ellipse tool here on the left. It's underneath the rectangle tool, and there's a little triangle here, so if you rest on that and click on it, you'll get to your oval ellipse tool. And I'm going to again hold my shift key down, and I want to click and drag, and I want another 4 by 4 inch circle here, and I'm going to try to do it exactly here, but if not, I can just change it, not a big deal. So with my black arrow tool selected, you can see it's not quite 4 inches, so I'm just going to double click in here, make that 4 inches, and I'm going to select my circle and hold my Alt key down and click and drag the circle away, so I get 2 circles. My first circle, I'm going to go back and I'm just going to arrange this circle so that it's centered along the first circle, and I want the black to intersect with my square. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the other circle. I'm just going to bring this down, and I want my black center point to meet, and you can see how it intersects. So it's the same even with the first circle, and it's also intersecting with the other square. Okay, so we have this beautiful heart. I'm just going to highlight it all, and with the Pathfinder tool, if you don't have it, if you don't see it, you can go to Windows and find Pathfinder. We're going to go to the Unite button, so I'm just going to click on that so we have a nice solid heart. But of course now my heart is bigger than I wanted, so again, with the constrain button clicked, I'm just going to make my heart 4 inches by 4 inches. Then what I want to do is I'm actually going to hit the Alt key and make a duplicate copy of my heart and just put it along the side there. Okay, now with my first heart selected, I'm going to do Edit, Copy, Edit, Paste in Place, and then I want to get my Rotate tool. It's this round tool right here. If you see something that looks like 2 triangles, let me just click on that and show you. Oops. You can see that it's got the Reflect tool here. I don't want that. I want the Rotate tool. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, when I click the Rotate tool, you'll see, I'm going to smooth this up a little bit. You can see this little center point. I'm just going to move my center point down until I see it says Anchor. And that's what I want. And now, if I hold my Shift key down, if I start to drag and I hold my Shift key down, I can rotate my heart 90 degrees, and that's what I want. I'm going to do that again. We're going to do Edit, Copy, Edit, Paste in Place. With my Rotate tool, I'm going to move the center point, move the center point back to the anchor, and you want to make sure it says Anchor and not Path. And I'm going to start to rotate, hold my Shift key down, and move it to 90 degrees. And then one more time, Edit, Copy, Edit, Paste in Place. With my Rotate tool selected, I'm just going to move the center point back until it says Anchor, not Path. Make sure it says Anchor, because you have to be right in the right spot or it won't work. And then we're going to start rotating and holding the Shift key down. It'll automatically go to 90 degrees. Okay, so now we have this beautiful heart here, and I'm just going to highlight it all, and I'm going to hit the Unite button again. So now we have sort of a clover. The next thing we want to do is grab your line tool And with the line tool selected, we're going to start, actually let's just click off of the shape first, grab the line tool, and I'm going to start where it says anchor here, and I'm just going to click and drag to the anchor across the way. And I don't want a solid line here, I want a dashed line, so I'm going to hit stroke, and I'm going to make the weight 1, and I'm going to round my corner and my cap, and then I'm going to hit dash line, and I'm going to change this dash line to 3 and then 20. And you want to make sure you have this button here selected. That's going to make sure that your points end up at the end of your line. Okay, so I can click off of there now, and I have this line here, and I need to draw another one. So with my line tool again, I'm going to start at this anchor and go to this anchor across the way. And you can see, I'm going to zoom in here, you can see it's a dashed line because that's what we already started with. And then we need to do one more. We're going to start at this anchor point, we're going to drag all the way across to the other anchor point. Alright, so those are all of our folding lines that we're going to need for our project. So I'm going to shift select each one of those lines. I'm going to do Object, Path, Outline Stroke, and then I'm going to hit the Unite button, and then Command 8 or Control 8 on the PC. And then I'm going to shift select our hearts, and I'm going to go back to my Pathfinder here, and I'm going to do minus front. And what that's going to do is it pokes a hole right through our heart with these holes. So that's going to make it so that they fold well. Now, our other heart that's sitting over here on the side, I'm going to change the color so we can see it easier to pink. And hit OK. And I need to have it be on the top, so I'm just going to do Object, Arrange, Bring to Front. And this heart is of course the same exact size as our other heart, but what I want to do is make it a little bit smaller so we have where we can have like a decorative piece inside here. So I'm going to make my stroke about a 12. And then I'm going to do Object, Path, Outline Stroke. And you can see now I have 3 lines here. So I'm going to grab my white arrow tool, and I'm going to click off of the heart, and I'm going to click the very outside line and hit delete twice. And then I'm going to click the outside of the pink line and hit delete. And of course my heart turned black, and we're going to turn it back to pink. Alright, so now I have this little inset heart here that I'm going to cut out of white paper, but I just wanted it to be pink for now. So I need to make another one to go on the bottom. So I'm going to hold the Alt key down and draw another one, and then I'm going to rotate this holding the Shift key down 180 degrees so that it goes upside down. And of course this will fit perfectly in our other heart here as well. But then what's going to happen is this bottom heart is actually going to fold up. So I need to have an inset piece on the outside of my card. So I'm just going to take this one, and I'm going to actually take this one because it's going to fold up, so the heart will be upright. And I'm going to hold my Alt key down and drag another one off to the side. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to make this one a different color, because I'm going to use white glittery paper for this piece, and I'm going to use white paper for these two. Now if you wanted to do an inset for these, if you wanted to have a little inset, you could take one of these hearts and rotate them and cut it in half. But I'm not going to do that right now. So I'm going to get this ready. Now I have one more thing. I'm going to include in your files this little bear and this I love you very much. It's a file that I created for the Etsy store, but I'm going to include it in your files here. So I'm just going to click on that and drag it onto my project. So what I want to do actually is the bear, I want to sit on the outside of my heart on my card, and the I love you very much, when the card opens, I want it to be here on my bottom card. So I'm just going to move this, and of course I cut the love out of red. I'm going to make these hearts an off-white just so you can see what this would look like. So I'm just changing the color to an off-white, And I would make this red, except when I put this in my Cricut, I don't want it to cut the same. I cut my I Love You Very Much out of vinyl, so I'm leaving it a different color even though I plan on cutting it out of red, and even though I'm planning on cutting this heart out of blue, again I'm going to leave it, I'm going to cut it out of white, I'm going to leave it as red. The other thing is my little heart here is the same color as this red, so I think I'm going to change this red just a little bit, just to make it off just a little bit here. Actually, I'm going to go with this purple, so that way when I put this into my Cricut, this will be the red that registers. And actually now I can make my love red here as well, because I want them both to cut out of vinyl. And that's all it takes to get this card ready. So I'm going to do File, Save, and I'm going to just get this onto my desktop for you. I'm going to call this Heart Card RM, and I'm going to save it as an Illustrator file first, and then I'm also going to save it as an SVG and hit save, hit OK. And now I'm going to get this opened up and cut it with my Cricut, and then I'm going to show you how to put the card together and what you'll have in the end. Alright, thanks for watching. We'll be right back. Okay, so I cut out all the pieces for my card, and I just wanted to show you, we're going to go through this whole process together. First you're going to have your piece like this that we put our score marks in. So the first score marks, you want it so that you have a whole heart up top and a whole heart on the bottom, and the score marks are going straight across here. So the first thing we're going to do is fold this down in half like that. And then we're going to actually fold the other score marks up this way. So we're just going to fold this way and this way. Okay, so still with the full heart on top, now our card will fold like this. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to put the cover on here, and then the card will open like this, and then we'll have our sentiment inside. So with our card folded up, I cut out a piece of a heart out of glittery paper. So one is out of glittery paper, and that one is going to be the one I want on the front of my card. I don't know if you can tell that that's glittery, but that's glitter paper. These other two are just regular white cardstock. So I'm just going to get my first heart here glued down. Like this. And then on the inside, I'm just going to glue my other two hearts. One is going to be facing up, and the other one's going to be facing down. Okay, then I'll just put my cap on here. I cut out my little bear out of black cardstock, and I have my other pieces out of vinyl, so I'm just going to trim these up a little bit. I have my bear in brown, and then I have my sentiment here. I'm just trimming it to make it a little bit easier to cut. And trace around, weed it. So I'm just going to start at the corner here and use my little grip. I'm just going to carefully pull away. Okay. I'm just going to take out those little middle pieces here. this. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same thing for the other couple of pieces. This is a nice, cute, quick card that you can make for Valentine's Day. And we're going to be doing a couple of other Valentine projects, so you'll have to watch for that. Okay, I'm just going to grab this one. Okay, and then he's got a couple little pieces here. Need really good eyes for these things sometimes. Okay. Okay, just going to get these little pieces off here. Alright, and then I just have to get this piece off of the arm. Okay, and there we go. So you can see he's all cleaned up. Alright, so then what we're going to do is I'm going to take my transfer tape and I'm going to, let me just grab a little bit bigger piece. I'm going to grab my bear, give us a good rub. Okay, I'm just going to put my bear on the white paper because it's a lot easier to see to get the brown on here, and I'm just going to lay him like that. I love using vinyl on paper. I think it looks so cute. Okay, and then I'm going to put the little black heart on his tummy, and then the red one. Okay, so he's going to go on the front. And our sentiment, I'm just going to grab this now. Okay, and this is going to go, I want to make sure that I have my outer heart on the bottom here, so I'm just going to get my sentiment there. Ready? And put it right here. Okay, and I'm going to get the love in there. And that'll fit perfectly right there, like that. Okay, and then you can add the bear to the front, and you can either add him with a pop dot, which I think I'm going to do. Let's see if I have some foam here. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to take a little piece of foam, cut that, put some glue, tape it to the back of the bear, or glue it I mean, and then I'm going to put some more glue. And get him on the front. And there you go, you have a very cute Valentine's Day card that will pop up like that. Alright, thanks for watching. We'll be back with more videos.